Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do my first tutorial and show you guys how I create a sort of bluey brown sort of shadow look using the Avon quad. This one, if you can see here, is in Glow Teal. And the brilliant thing about this quad is that it's upside down, but it does tell you what order to use the colours in, which is a real big help. So to start, I'm going to apply my foundation, and for this look I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Fix. And my colour is NW15. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply this using a Zoeva buffer brush, number, I think, yeah, 104. So a little bit of this foundation really does go a really long way. I've already put moisturiser and primer on, by the way. So I'm just going to work this around the centre of my face and just a little bit out to the side. I do also go over my eyelids because I have really veiny eyelids, as you can see there. So I just like to make sure they're not showing. So I think this is a great look that you can use for daytime or for going out, because you can always jazz it up with some false lashes or a darker colour on the lip. I'm going to show you how I would wear it for sort of like a some evening-y, barbecue-y type look rather than sort of like a night out makeup. And just so you can kind of see how I would wear it. Okay, so now that's all nicely buffed into the skin, we can go on to the eyes. So you will need quite a few different brushes for this look because there's so many different colours. You need to be able to blend and make sure that they're all still properly blended. And because we're using such strong colours, I am going to prime my eyes, and I'm going to use the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. This is just a really skin nude tone. Just going to apply this roughly over my eye, just using my finger. And this should hopefully make the colour stay on all day. So like I said, I've got a number of different brushes that I'm going to use to create this look. So to start, I'm just going to take the first colour, which is this sort of goldy, pale, sort of white colour, and just take that into the outer corners and also around my tear duct area. I'm applying this using a Real Techniques shading brush, because this brush is a little bit smaller, so it does get into those edges just a little bit easier. Okay, and then I'm going to use the second colour, which is the brownie shade, on the same brush, and just pat that onto the centre of the lid, but not going the whole way across because I don't think I've got two other colours to fit on here. Now, the trick I find with this look is applying, blending, and then reapplying, so that you get that sort of strong colour, but it's also properly blended. So I know I'm going to look crazy as I start putting this on before I blend it. Does look like I'm going to a party dressed as a clown, but I promise you it will look okay in the end. So once you've got that on, I'm then going to go on to the most exciting colour, which is this turquoisey teal colour here. Coming right up to the crease with this one. And going pretty much to the outer edge, but just leaving a small gap. These colours by Avon really are beautiful. They're really, really pigmented, which you wouldn't really expect from Avon. Avon's sort of like my makeup brand that I'm always surprised by. Whenever I receive a new box of their products, I'm always like, bit not really sure about how they're going to turn out, but very few of them I'm actually disappointed in, which is obviously a good thing. So now I'm looking crazy. I'm just going to basically make this look even more crazy by adding the darkest colour, which is this dark blue. And to apply that, I'm going to use an angled brush. This is a Revlon one, just to get that sort of flicked, angled look. Okay, so I'm going to follow my natural lash line and ring this up. I just find it the easiest way of doing it with a angled brush rather than trying to achieve this look with a normal eye brush. And then I'm going to turn the brush around and bring that triangle almost back in to meet with the crease. And then I'm going to take this brush from MAC, which is A239, and just fill in Okay, so now we can blend. Let's just get that other side up to the same place. Now you can go as heavy as you want to on this dark blue. As I'm doing this for more of sort of like a daytimey look, I'm going to go in a bit more once I've blended with the turquoise. Probably also because turquoise is my favourite colour. I love wearing it on my eyes. Okay, so to blend, I'm going to take a MAC 217 and just basically work all these colours together. You want to go around and soften the edge of our flick, but at the same time we still want quite a clean look, so I would just sort of go around it with my finger after just to make sure I haven't smudged it out too much. Okay, then I'm going to go back in with some of the colours. Firstly, the brown shade, which is the second shade that we used. Just going to go back in with that. Again, just to make sure they all sort of fit together a bit better. And then, like I said, the other turquoise is my favourite. I'm just going to go over that again, just to make it stand out a little bit more against the dark blue. Okay. I'm going to go back in and just blend again. And then I'm going to take a clean blending brush. This one is blender brush by Zoeva. Just to go around the outsides and clean up anywhere where the colours sort of gone over. Okay, and then just in the tear duct area, I'm going to add a goldy colour just to go over the sort of pale colour we used before. I'm actually going to use Half Baked from my Urban Decay Naked palette. I'm just taking some of the same Real Techniques brush, the smaller one we used earlier. And this is just a lovely gold, sort of shimmery tone. And just put this just in that tear duct area. Just highlight it a little bit more. And then you can come down underneath the eye, just at the edge. Okay, I'm then going to go back in with our angled brush and the turquoisey colour. And I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line. Okay, I'm then going to go in with mascara. So I'm going to use the MAC Extreme Lash, but any mascara will do. Okay, so back to the skin. So I'm going to pop some concealer on. This is the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. I mainly use this just for under my eyes. And as I've got a bit of any pimples or spots, dab that on. And then just going to go in with my ring finger and just gently pat that in. And get rid of these dark circles and also any fallout from the eyeshadow that we've just put on. I think that's the first thing I learned when I started getting really into makeup, is doing your eyes first. Because I remember I spent so long once getting my contouring all right, making sure my concealer was perfect, and then I did a black smoky eye, and pretty much from here to here was covered in black eyeshadow. And I basically had to start again. So that's my first tip. If you're going to do heavy eyes, do your eyes first. Okay, so concealer on, I'm going to set that using the Natural Collection pressed powder. This is in the colour Neutral, and I'm going to put this on using a Body Shop base and body brush. Just love Body Shop brush, that's so soft. Really expensive, but to be fair, they do last for ages. I bought this Christmas 2012. No problems with it. Keep it clean. It's definitely worth spending a bit more. So I'm just going to pat that in, not going to rub it because that's just going to wipe off all the makeup I just put on. I don't really have very oily skin, but I don't want to be shiny either. I don't use too much of this, just enough to make a difference. And then just to give myself a bit of a healthy glow, but I don't want to be too orange, I'm going to use the 17 shimmer brick, which is basically just like the Bobbi Brown one. Obviously it's probably not as good, but to be fair, for the price, it's definitely, you know, worth investing in this first. I'm just going to swirl around. This is using a face brush actually from Avon, which again is really good. And I'm just going to go around the edge of my face with this, on my temples, my hairline, and then I'm going to put this on my cheeks. And then for blush, I'm going to use the one of the blushes from the Sleek Pink Nade palette. Show you here is some really lovely colours in this palette. I'm actually going to use the cream blush, which is called Macaroon. Great names. And I'm going to use a Real Techniques blush brush to apply this. So I'm just going to dip just the edges of the brush in the product, because with cream blush, if you go too heavy, it's really hard to get rid of it. And I'm just going to smile and then dab that onto the apples of my cheeks. Definitely apply a little bit at a time, because like I said, if you've got too much on, it's very hard to get rid of it. And then I'm just going to buff this in. A bit more of a healthy glow then. I'm then going to highlight using the Benefit What's Up. Absolutely awesome packaging on this. This is more of a cream stick highlighter rather than a powder or a liquid, and it's really quite good. So I just go from my temples down to my cheekbones and then a bit up the centre of my nose. It does come with a brush, but I don't really like the brush, so I just use my hands. So again, I'm just going to use my ring finger and just pat that on top of the foundation. I don't really like the brush because I found that when I did use the brush, it just dragged off all the blusher or bronzer or whatever I put on first. So I've just found using my finger is a lot. Perfect. So then on to eyebrows. I'm going to use a spoolie just to comb through and get rid of any strays. Then what I do is I actually brush my brows down, because I have really, really long brows. It's actually really hard to follow my natural line. So now I look absolutely horrific. But now I can see where my natural arc should be. So I am then going to use the Smashbox Brow Tech to go. So this is a pencil, but it's great because it's actually angled. Don't know if you can really see that there. So I'm just going to follow where my arc starts and then gently fill in anywhere that's missed. I'm just going to extend it just slightly. There. Then I go back in with my spoolie and brush that out. I don't look quite so crazy anymore. And then just very gently fill in the rest of my brow wherever I need to. I'm very lucky that I do have quite dark, thick brows anyway, but I just like to fill in where there's any hairs missing. But I do keep it very, very light as I get further outwards, just to keep it as natural as possible. Okay, and then once that's done, then just go back in with my spoolie. This is an ideal one, by the way, that also comes with a pencil, which is good. Just to make sure they're all spread out evenly. I'm then going to use the other end of this Smashbox kit, which is actually a brow gel. It's great because it all comes in one, but carry around 2 products. So it's a clear gel on like a mascara type wand. And I'm just going to go through just to thicken them a bit. Make the product cling to the hair a bit more, just to make them look even more natural, I hope. Okay, so brows done. All that's left really is the lips. So because we've gone quite heavy on the eyes, I'm not going to go too heavy on the lip, this particular look, but obviously if you're going on a night out, you may want to. So I am going to use this lipstick by Rimmel, which is the colour 206, which is nude pink. It's a really pretty shimmery nude colour rather than a matte nude, which can look like you've got foundation on your lips. This is sort of quite shimmery, so it's obvious that it's not. Okay, so that is my finished look for you using the Avon quad in Glow Teal. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up. And if you do have any requests for me, anything particularly that you'd like me to do leave a comment below. I'll be uploading again probably next week with my next tutorial. But in the meantime, if you do want to keep up to date with me, do give me a follow on Instagram. It's liv.williams_makeup. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you found it useful, and I will see you again very soon. Bye guys!